There we go.
Very good.
We're waiting for you. This is working fine. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first thing on the agenda is to approve the agenda for today. Could I have a motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Next thing is the approval of the minutes from last month's board meetings. We had three. We had December 8th, December 14th, and December 23rd. Can I get a motion?
Move. Second.
Any comments, corrections? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Before we start the rest of the meeting, we're going to open a public hearing. We're going to extend the public hearing for the solar wind moratorium. Is there a motion? So moved.
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to make a comment? And we have we'll get back to it at the end of the meeting, but anybody want to make any comments on our public hearing on the moratorium? We've had 2 or 3 meetings so far on the wind moratorium. We initially did a 3-month moratorium so we can put together local law, solar law. And so the 3 months is up and we're going to extend it another 3 months. We're in the final stages. When I contacted our special counsel yesterday, Barton Judas, who is our engineer working on the solar law, the person in charge was out for a few weeks sick, and so they weren't able to go any further with our last meeting recommendations. And so within the next week, we'll probably have their updated comments from the instructions that we gave them. And at that point, we'll schedule another meeting, a workshop strictly on the solar and wind moratorium. And therefore, anybody's welcome to, put in input. Hopefully after that meeting, we will be able to schedule the public vote on that and go forward from there. So we're trying to make the solar wind more local law restrictive, but not so restrictive that if someone has an ideal situation that would protect neighbors and be beneficial to the grid, we would accept it. So that's where we're at this point. So any comments from the board? Any comments from the public? Hearing none, and it'll be open, and I'll give people a chance at the end of the meeting to make any more comments if they want, or ask any questions if they want. The next one will be public participation. Would anybody from the public like to be heard? What?
I'm just looking to find out updates, and I see they tagged the trees next to my property. What's that sign up?
Mr. Bruno?
We're gonna cut them down like Walt said, suggested. Well, as soon as the ground freezes up, a little wet in there right now.
Okay, and also the ditch behind your guys' property. That can be cleaned out. I was told that was, but that wasn't done in July. Sorry,
What the Mike and Bob, you guys visited the site, correct? Mike?
Yes, go ahead.
Your recommendation is what?
I don't know how much Bob really wants to clean it, Bob. It's not really plugged up. Water's flowing real well.
That pipe pipe can't be lowered.
I'm not asking about my pipe. I'm asking about your property.
I'm not talking about your pipe. I'm talking about the sewer line. That dragway pipe that goes to the lake is sitting on our 8-inch sewer main, so we can't lower it down anymore.
This is clean.
So
Faster.
I'm confused here a little bit. So you're asking, be specific on what you're asking for?
Me,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not my property,
yeah,
your guys' property.
our property.
That ditch where all that water comes out of that pipe on my property.
Yep.
Is an open ditch.
Yep.
And that ditch is overgrown with weeds,
Oh, okay, yep,
debris, leaves.
okay,
That was the thing, he was going to clean it out.
yep, I
And
remember
then
now,
put
I remember
laser on
now,
there.
yep, Yep.
It never got done.
okay,
That was the big first thing. We gotta get that done before we can put a laser on it.
all right, so.
I'm just looking to have it cleaned out, so because if that backs up, we're all gonna back up back there. I'm just trying to get the debris cleaned out. Not
Okay.
looking to lower a pipe,
Okay, all
that's
right,
all I'm looking to have it cleaned out, like he said he was gonna do.
okay, so when can we get that done, Bob?
It's wet, let it as soon as it dries up.
Or freeze
I
it?
know it's awful wet
If it
now.
freezes-
Put
if it
done
freezes a
in
little
July,
bit,
he said he was
Uh,
gonna.
If it freezes a little bit, he could probably get in with a
All right,
ditching
well, this-
bucket.
All right.
Yeah.
So if it freezes, we can get it done if it freezes? Yeah, okay. Soon as, if the ground
There's
freezes,
not a lot you can do, just grub it up a little bit.
or we can, like we did at the other place,
Right,
just
just a
take the
little bit.
backhoe and clean up.
Right,
the-
just
yeah,
a little bit, that's all you can do.
Yeah, we can take the cottontails or whatever they call them out of there. to
Yeah.
Do that, all right.
That's all I'm looking for.
Right,
I'm just tired of being snowed
Okay,
by this guy right here. That's all I'm saying.
all right,
If we cut the trees, what are you
So I
gonna do
had
with
to
the
come up
trees?
here for.
okay,
I know
thank
it's
you.
gonna be a problem.
What's that?
What are we gonna do with the
Big
trees
fire
once we
hose.
cut them? I know it's gonna be a
Appreciate it.
problem.
Yeah, well, we'll just, right now, leave them.
You won't allow
Well, it's our property.
it. Okay,
Okay. John?
Well, I'm hoping you're gonna talk about putting the sewer up sewer away. Glenbrook,
Okay, I will tell you, what the process is for the sewer to go up there. Any expense related to a sewer project like that has to be borne by the people who live there. Town does not pay for any of that sewer project. For an example, when we did sewer district number 3, there were 180 homes there. It cost $3.5 million. 180 people had to take out a bond. And they have to pay back that bond, and they get on their taxes every year to pay for that. In order to put a sewer in Glenbrook, the best way to do it is to get everybody up there to agree to do it. Then we have to petition to the health department to do it, which they will accept us to do it, but then we have to provide an engineering report. And once we get the engine, then the town will initially pay for the engineering report. If the project goes forward, then the cost of the project, the material, the installation, engineering, and anything else has to be borne by the number of people that live there. So, and depending on how much it costs, it may be prohibitive. The other thing that you have to worry about too is because if it's a capital project, the state comptroller's office gets involved. The state comptroller says you can't spend more than $925 a year more to take people off the septic to put them on sewer. The problem that we have there is you're not in a district. If you were already in a district, if you sold your house or you could just join, hook up, you could just do it yourself, and pay for it yourself. And you have that option right now. If you want to just hook up yourself from your house down to the road, you can hire an individual to do that. And you would have to petition the town to do that, to be accepted into the district. And then you would be paying the sewer costs, capital costs like everybody else does, and the sewer fee like everybody else does each year. So it's possible, but if you talk to your neighbors and they want to do it, you can petition the town to put the sewer in. But the sewer, the town cannot do it on their own, period. So
you wouldn't be able to do it in-house. You'd have to-
Oh, we could do the labor in-house, but it was still, you would still have to pay for our people's hourly cost, our people's, our material, our, the engineering, and all that stuff. So we can, in-house would save you a little bit of money. But if we went out, if we want out as a capital project, we would have to pay prevailing wages and have all that stuff associated with it. So it's not as easy as saying, okay, town, we want all these people to have it. We're gonna dig a ditch, put a sewer line in, and it doesn't work that way. We have to follow laws. Rick,
Yeah.
you're our attorney.
It's a pretty good, pretty accurate, background of the procedure,
Yeah,
you know,
That would have to be a force main.
no,
because right now.
Gravity?
Most of the property on that street are not part of the jurisdictional boundaries of the sewer district.
yeah, a new house went up a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And that individual paid an individual contractor to hook up a sewer line to the gravity line down on
And there was no town expense.
at no town expense.
Yeah, and we accept,
accepted the
because she
extension.
was adjacent to it, we just extended it. After public hearing, we extended it to include that parcel.
Yeah, so if you want to do it individually, you'd be more than welcome to do it, and the health department would love you to do it. And we want you to do it.
And the lake would love us.
Yeah, absolutely. But because it's a sewer district, the way the law the way the law reads is only the people that benefit from that service pays for it. So there are people out in the, so the town, everybody pays a town tax. If the farmers shouldn't be expected to pay for someone else's sewer. So only the people who get sewer pay for sewer. That's why it's a special district. So it cannot be out of the general fund. That's according to municipal law. We can front the money, but you have to pay us back. So,
How it's been done before is an extension like that, like on water, it would be like an extra line item, this, the Glenbrook Drive.
How expensive would it be for them to connect
Would
from?
be an extra line item for that was incurred for engineering, legal.
It's pretty prohibitive around here.
So much a foot.
well, yeah. But now, Bob, how much is it a foot to hook up a sewer to the main?
Can we, give, before he goes solicits the neighbors, because the first thing they're gonna say is how much is it gonna cost? Can't we ask Barton and Judas just for a budgeted number? We could give them the lineal foot.
Yeah, we can tell you
Give them the
roughly.
lineal footage for how long it is, and they could say, you need 4 manholes, you need 3 manholes. And give him a budgeted number, then he could go to his neighbors and say, hey.
But it's only a good faith, yeah, I mean. without-
Yes, this is only a budgeted number, it's subject to change. This is gonna be $10,000, and there's, I don't know how many neighbors are up there, there are probably 5 or 6 that aren't hooked up.
A little more-
Maybe more.
More neighbors, maybe the less.
Yeah.
It will, you divide it up.
Yeah, and who puts it in is,
It's already hooked up. O'Brien, Dempsey, there.
There's the brick house that the
Yeah,
guy
the
owns. in
brick house,
Rochester.
Dempson,
You got-
there's nobody lives there.
I know, but he calls me every year. What's it gonna take to get the sewer hooked up? What's it gonna do?
I mean, it makes your property worth more.
Well, the kid next door is he works down in Morris Chain down there.
O'Brien, yeah.
He asked me about getting hooked up. So there's 2, and then you got Watkins and you are 3, 4. And then what about?
Linda Talbot, that's
where
fine.
Talbot?
That's
And
it.
what about George Raymond's old house?
Oh, that's
They're
right.
on septic, they're on septic.
So it could be
George
6,
Raymond's is
yeah.
on septic too.
Yeah.
When they sold that house in the ad, it said sewer ready.
Well, don't, they can say what they want, but,
And then would it be, would you hook up on both ends, north and south end to the main, or would you?
Have to, it's a loop.
It's a, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's on a.
I agree, and yeah. Luckily, all the top houses are higher than the road,
Hopefully
so.
we can give them a budgeted number and then you can tell them neighbors. And then if it-
Estimate, let's say, call it an estimated number, not a
Yeah.
budget,
You
number,
need
an
a-
estimated number.
Would that be gravity from where they are?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Up all the-
yeah, that's good grade right there, all the way through.
Yeah, the good thing is it's gravity, so
You
it'll
don't
be
need any-
cheaper
you
than
don't need
a
any pump for it.
British main, which is a grinder pump, and the pump themselves are $8,000. So you wouldn't need that. You just need a lateral going straight, a lateral to the main and the main going straight down. So, and then you'd be paying from my memory, you'd be paying on your sewer bill. In sewer district two, you'd be paying probably $80 a quarter for sewer. And then you'll be paying on your tax bill another $400 or $500 a year for
O&M.
O&M and capital. Yep, so it'll still cost you $1,000 a year to have sewer hooked up to your house.
Be worth just looking into it. Be worth looking into.
Okay, but what I'm hearing is, where I am positioned
Yep,
on there. Is it possible to be hooked into the sewer now down on the highway? If I went and did it myself on my own, me, one guy. And
yes,
say to hell with everybody else.
Yes.
And you would, the town wouldn't want you to say to hell with everybody else,
no.
because it's the same water that we drink that you guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We encourage, and the health department would encourge to have everybody hooked
Is,
up.
is that there's state monies now available to,
No,
no,
well, well, I hate to say no, but they just gave us $2.5 million to separate the sewer lines down here on 3 Avenue streets. They're projected for 3 streets to cost over, the initial cost before COVID was $3.5 million. Now it's probably going to be 4.5 or $5 million. So when we got a $2.5 million grant for that, but that took a couple of
2 years.
couple of years to get that. And so, but with something this small, I don't even think that we would get anything. Because what happens where Owasco gets into trouble is average income is so, the town's overall average income is so high, and they go to other places, everything's based on criteria, and we don't qualify based on average mean income. So that's the problem that we face in Owasco.
Yeah, Mike's throwing up the curve.
Yeah. Ever since Mike moved in, yeah.
You're right.
We-
Yeah,
Sure. So,
you stuck it to me.
but I think if you wanted it, if you're having problems with your septic,
I am not.
yeah,
Thank God.
yeah, if you were, it would be a new, I've been told a new septic. If you had to put a new leach field in and stuff, you're running minimum 15,000 to 20,000.
20,000.
Easy.
15 to 20,000 just for a septic to be, and it has to be built into new criteria. The stuff that's there before, to get neighbors to come up with, and I'm gonna tell you up front, you're looking at, depending on if you want to bond it or not, but you put in your taxes, you're looking, at probably, I'm gonna guess $5,000-6,000 a house, minimum.
Generally, people that aren't having any trouble do not want to hear about this.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're hot right
Yeah.
up in
When I
front, and then
talked
they
to-
cool down fast.
Yeah, when I talked to your neighbor about it one time about hooking up there, and they said when we initially built, we bought a double lot and we put our septic in the other lot, and we don't have any problems with it. We got a Cadillac septic, and why would we hook up? There's only 2 of them living there, so they probably won't hook up. So my guess is to get everybody, some people want it, and until they hear the price.
John's
That's,
talking about is there's a manhole right down the end of,
yeah,
right where his house is headed west. There's a manhole probably 10-15 foot off Owasco Road.
yep. Well, you'd have to get an attorney to get some right of ways to go down through the neighbors,
couldn't go through only but one neighbor, and I know I could go through it.
Yeah, so, but you have to get a legal right of way. A utility right of way to be able to put a sewer line through the front of their house, because they won't be able to build on top of it, not that they would.
And you don't worry about the existing person,
No.
you worry about
Are you gonna-
somebody 10 years from.
Are you
now
gonna leave
when
it
they do
private or are you gonna have them, turn it over to the
That would
town?
be turned over, yeah. If he did
If
it,
it's done according
it
to
had to be an
specs.
had to be an extension.
But he's not, his parcel not
Yeah.
adjacent to
No.
the sewer district, there's a house in between.
Yep. Yep.
Which side of Glenbrook Drive are you on?
They would be
If
the
you-
north south end.
All the way to the south or the
Up on top,
house?
Yeah.
Right.
in the
If
corner.
you turn left onto the second Glenbrook, you
Yeah.
turn into my front house if you didn't turn.
This is, I didn't
I mean, the
realize.
first house on the right.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, it's got a.
Second, well, there's a corner house that
Yeah, there used to
that
be doors.
used to be doors, and then he's the one next
You're the
door.
one that-
There's a manhole right on the end.
See, doors, that house, that old house, that house in the corner is in the district. The one, yours is not in the district, but you're adjacent to the
Oh,
one.
he is adjacent.
Well, he's to that, to what, yeah, he's
The
adjacent to, the-
neighbors in the district.
neighbors in
so
the
yeah,
district.
This property touches the district.
So the closer he is to the sewer, it's less expensive.
yes, yeah. So basically, whatever, if you can hire
If he does
someone
it- if
cheap
he
to
does
dig
it
a
alone.
hole and put it in, but it has to be engineered.
Specs,
has-
town specs.
Town specs and the health department specs, so you'd have to get a engineer to design where it's gonna come out of your house, the type, the pitch, the type of material you're gonna be using, and the depth,
Right.
how far down it's gonna go, and they had to do a survey of the place to make sure the other utilities aren't gonna be interrupted and disturbed when you put the construction in, so to me, that's probably your cheapest way to do it.
It sounds complicated, but it's not.
Mr. Bruno knows all about it. You can talk to him.
The thing of it is, I could go down to the sewer without touching the road.
Yeah, but you gotta have it's gotta be an easement. Because what happens is you're gonna turn it over to the town. The town needs to have legal access to that. So we gotta have a easement to go on your neighbor's property and to go on your property. So we will have an easement to maintain it up to your lateral. Your lateral is from the pipe from your house to the main line. Once that it would, so that might be a 3-inch line where the pipe going down may be required to have a 4 or 5-inch line. Who knows? I don't know what the engineer or what the town spec is, but that's what we would. Because what would happen is in case someone in the future wanted to hook up to yours, we want to be able to have enough capacity to have the neighbor down the road and eventually hook up to it if they wanted to hook up to your main in front of your house.
But
Yeah.
that's the old gal that just moved in down there with the new house. She supposedly was to have a pipe big enough to involve the rest of the roadway.
Yep. So, I mean, that's what's gotta be determined. So, you let me know which way you want me to, I can get you an estimate on per foot based on current, because the engineers work with other municipalities. They know what the contractors are bidding right now. They can give you an estimate on how much per foot for a sewer main. And then you can measure out what it would, how many feet there are, and you get a basis for that.
Well, I was hoping you'd say something about being able to do it in-house and give an estimate that way to the whole development there.
Yeah, well, the initial expense could be borne on the town per law. But if in the fact that you ever decide to go forward as a group to do the project, then the group, that would be part of your expenses, the initial engineering report. So we
It's a
can.
little bit confusing the way you put it.
It took, after like 5 different capital projects, I kind of figured it out. Rick, am I missing anything?
It's a pretty accurate description of.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to come in one-on-one and talk with me, I'd be more than happy to sit down and write it down and we can So why don't you come in and
Lay
talk
out
to me?
the options.
Yeah,
Is it group versus one?
Yes.
That's how, I mean, I think that's where he's getting confused.
yeah. Well, even both,
I'll be happy to swing by if I know what it is, if
Yeah.
that would help, or
yeah. So, I mean, if you wanna, if you really wanna do it, give me a call and we'll set up an appointment and we'll meet and we'll look at, even if it's in-house, which I know what you're thinking, in-house would be no cost, we just do it in-house. It doesn't work that way. You still be responsible for our cost for hooking up the sewer. To extend to it, to do it legally. You know, if it were the old days, a slap on the back and a 12-pack in my truck, you know, that it could be done that way, but not anymore. Yeah,
Well, I'm 5 years old. and,
Yeah.
I set that as far as I can. Future,
Yeah.
visualize how far I'm gonna go, myself.
yep,
It doesn't behoove me to get involved in doing the whole district, that whole
I
area.
agree.
You know,
This is-
when I could probably do it on my own.
So
But I would not want to do that because I'm drinking the water that coming
Yeah.
out there.
the question you're gonna have is that in the future, when you want to sell and a family of 6 wants to move in there, is the septic gonna be good enough for them? And is it gonna hold them? Is that gonna be an additional $20,000, $30,000 expense? Is that gonna affect the price of your selling of the house? That's the gamble. It's insurance policy. That's what you gotta figure out. What, is it gonna improve the value of your house? Let your realtor tell you that, not me. So,
I'm not looking to sell my house and
no,
it would have to be borne by the new people.
Yeah. yeah.
I would like to see the loop done.
Oh, I would too.
Because of the lake.
Yep.
I can look out my window and see the lake.
Yep.
I was taxed because I had waterfront. But I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you have a right of way or something?
No,
Nothing.
No.
nothing.
The original.
Wow.
Original taxing.
I
said
hope they got that
waterfront.
taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I will contact our engineering firm to see if they can do a basic estimate on what it may cost. So you'd have an idea and we can figure
You're
out
talking individual or do
the loop.
Okay.
The loop. And then, if you want, then you can talk to a contractor to see how much it would cost for the construction going down, but there'll be other fees like engineering, legal, filing fees with the health department, that kind of stuff. So, you're gonna have to add a couple $1,000s more on top of whatever the construction cost will be.
Yeah, some manholes.
Yeah. Yep, so that the contractor can tell you what it would cost to construct it. And where's your pipe coming out of your house? Is it at the back of your house, the front of your house,
right toward the creek.
or the kind of side of the house?
Yeah.
So you could still use that and then just drop it right
Yeah.
straight down, okay. Because if it was coming at the back, then it'd be Yeah.
Out the side.
good. Makes it, because that's less cost for you. When if you ever wanted to go forward with connecting. So,
Okay, my next problem,
okay,
the water comes down the road. And it turns into my driveway and goes into my garage. That road needs to be lowered right there. They put layers on top of layers. Something needs to be done there.
highwayman right there.
He's a road man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a highway superintendent. He's an elected highway superintendent. So he can,
Well, luckily I got a catch down there that was in the
Yeah,
pipe
road,
to go
road.
right back out.
yeah, unless they grind it.
Put a
and they
catch
put it-
basin.
you never,
If I didn't have that catch, it would come in my garage. It went,
Yeah.
I misspoke.
Gotta
when I said
reroute
it
it.
comes in my
Lower
garage.
the
It
road.
doesn't.
yeah,
But it comes about that far from them then.
yeah, yep. So, not much, it would come out of his budget. So he's the guy you want to talk to on that one. So I wish I could help you on that one, but I can't. So,
Well, as far as I can see, I would like to have that number that you're talking about.
okay,
And
All right,
Make that
All right.
yes.
I can do that. All right, you're welcome to stay and get bored out of your mind. You'll be able to sleep good tonight.
Yeah.
No.
No. Yes,
Thank you.
yeah,
Bye.
yeah. Okay. All right, anybody from the online want to comment on anything? Walt and Mickey. Okay. Next thing, old business. Last month, we discussed and talked about our Pat Ware was here, talked about his codes update. We've been in contact with the county. She is putting together a proposal. She hopes to have the proposal available for us at the February 9th board meeting to discuss using them to assist us in updating all our codes and local laws. So we'll have that hopefully by February 9th. And hopefully a couple of weeks before I can forward to you guys and you'll be able to see the proposal. And you can have questions prior to that. I don't have any new business to discuss at this point. Next thing on the this is our joint meeting, reorganizational meeting, and our regular board meeting for monthly business. And so what we try to do is to expedite some things. And so we have a resolution 4 is grouping resolution 5 to resolution 20. So can I get a motion for discussion? Second. Anything you want to take out of that grouping or add to that grouping? Now is the time to speak. If
What
not,
is, oh, never mind.
okay, all
I
those in
figured it out
favor,
myself.
all those in favor for grouping?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Carry. So anything you want to talk about individually for the between resolution 5 to resolution 20? Most of these are just carry over from before. Take your time, look through it. You know, first one is to our credit card policy, our municipal record retention policy, our town fund balance policy. Tompkins Bank is our bank that we've had before I was supervisor, authorizing the general fund investments, the establishing reimbursement, you know, basically, you know, the salaries that were budgeted in the budget that were already approved that we have to announce. And there's recommendations to appoint to certain boards and deputy clerks and court clerk, which are, you know, the same, are basically like even mine. I have discretion, but the board out of courtesy, we let you reaffirm our decisions. We are reappointing special counsel Blair and our town attorney Rick Albato, both of which I have a resolution separately down the road to approve a contract. So I sent both contracts to you folks. The one thing that probably in here, Nancy Taylor, we have her as our assessment review board chair, but what actually happens is the board, that the board itself actually selects the chair. We just, you know, appoint her back to the board, because hers was as a chair, she was a 1-year term, so we can appoint her back on, but the board will actually appoint her as a chair. And then we have to officially notify the citizen as our official newspaper according to state law. And then, based on your recommendation last month, when we had the playground committee, we reaffirmed them. And then everything else is just, you know. So the resolution 21 is to approve resolutions 5 through 20. Can I get a motion for discussion?
Move. Second.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, this one here is a for the board to, and we have to send a certified copy of the resolution to appoint me as a designee at the annual town business meeting in New York City to represent the town. and to vote on our behalf as members of the association. Is there a motion for discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So Tammy, if you could remember, we got to send a certified copy to the New York State.
Got it right in my notes, okay.
Again, we're gonna close the public hearing to, hearing extending the, wind, solar and wind moratorium. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Before I close, anybody online want to speak? And, what I will do also, Walt and Mickey, I will let you know individually when the next workshop meeting will be, and you'll be able to help with any input that you want to add to that. And I'll actually send Walt the draft so that he can distribute to the board there on what the town is looking at. So we're taking any input, any feedback from anybody to make our solar law more effective and efficient. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next resolution is to enact proposed local law number 1 entitled temporary moratorium on commercial wind and solar energy for basically 3 more months.
Move. Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
So now we have 3 more months to complete this project.
Yeah, the 15th one. I'll copy Tom Blair
Okay,
on it. The filing form.
okay.
Okay. Next thing is to reduce change order on RB Robinson's retainage in the amount of $2,010.99 for work performed at 7102 Owasco Road. Just for you guys know, we had a call like December, I think it was like December 19th, that their basement was flooding, and they called a local contractor. They came in and they believed that they cleared it out, and it did get cleared out. On December 23rd, got another phone call that it was backing up in their basement again. So they hired another contract, the same contractor to come in, and they routed it out and telescoped it, and they believe that where the contractor, RB Robinson, plucked their lateral just above the water main when the water main went in. And when they reconnected it, what had happened was they have a steel pipe and a plastic pipe, and they had a rubber grommet that held it together. But what happened is the new pipe settled and went down halfway. So only half the pipe was open. So it was getting clogged and it was backing up.
They exposed it?
What's that?
Did they go in
They
there?
cambered it. And so what happened, they cambered it, and they told us about it. So then what happened was, Bob then was called, and he went there and he exposed it. We got pictures of it.
For the town.
For the town. And because technically the contract, the warranty work is a year, and it's been a couple of years since it happened. So it's our responsibility. So Bob went down and exposed it, and in fact, what we suspected was true. So we took pictures, and then what we did was we recorded our expenses associated with the repair. And and it's perfect timing because we want to make the final payment, even though it's 2 years out. I am proposing that we deduct our expenses off the money that we still owe them. And they want to close out this project, and we owe them like
We're
$54,000.
not talking about a warranty. We're talking about work professional.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
That's-
I'm not talking about warranty.
No, warranty's off.
Keeps happening over and
Yeah,
over.
that's
and over again.
That's what I'm saying. We're not talking about that.
It took longer than the warranty.
Well, we had other issues, like we had to get some stuff. We've been holding money back because we didn't want to pay them.
Yeah.
And so we withheld money anticipating that this would be a problem. And so it's retainage and, you know,
That's
it's
typical,
it's a
then.
Gonna be a
comment.
little argument,
Yeah,
that's all.
And so out of that 54,000 that we want to close out, I want to deduct the
So we have-
2,000
We have to provide some.
documentation.
evidence, Documentation.
Yes, I have all that together, ready to go, but I need your approval. to do
Have
it.
you, are they aware of what you're doing?
I.
That we had this problem?
I don't know if they know, but I notified our engineer
Okay.
who's responsible to notify them.
Okay,
Is this the same company we've had similar?
yeah,
problems?
it's the same one we had
Same
before.
So this is a company that we won't be hiring again.
Well,
We'll go back to the well.
Well, as long as they-
Price is price.
well, no, again, legally, we can not accept their bid. If
Yeah.
the lowest bid, we have, you know, we gotta
Yeah, right
go with,
to refuse.
yeah, lowest bid, you know, sometimes.
But have they responded positively
Yeah, it's
every
usually-
time
uh,
How you
we had
do
an
it.
issue?
It was an argument last
Have they
time.
responded well every time we've had an issue?
Hell no.
I think it was an argument last time.
You're having a-
Well, when we built them for the.
It's the
thing
same
on-
house.
On Howard Road, you know, and this was, and this, and so, and actually what happened again today is they called us again today, but today wasn't our problem. So we checked out and it was their problem. And so,
They got a little leverage for 54 grand.
So,
Yeah.
So what, does the reduction include what we had to pay for the Stewart property when that backed up?
that's already been taken care of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
How
we
about the
did-
corner
that was,
of
that was a
Melrose
previous
and
change. order.
Owasco?
Okay,
Okay, yeah,
thank you.
How about the one on the corner of Melrose and Owasco?
that was a different project.
That was the one before that.
That was one before that.
Different contractor.
No, this address would have been part of that, I mean,
This is part of the Owasco water, I mean, this is part of the last one, this last two,
From
last
Adams to Green Shutter.
Adams, the Green Shutters, that's it.
so we had another one, because you did the corner of Adams and Owasco on the firehouse side, that would have been the old water.
That was the old water district. That was the old one. That was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was,
That was called the water main replacement project, but this is.
Oh,
This one
Owasco.
here's, so this is south of,
Yeah, south of
Adams.
Adams. This is from south of Adams.
it's south of Adams, didn't you just do one on the corner of Melrose and Owasco, Adams and Owasco?
We did a lot.
Yeah, so this one was part of that one. Yeah,
That's where
We
that.
cleaned up a lot of messes.
yeah.
Well, my concern is we're gonna keep experiencing this, we're gonna get $2,000-3,000 bills for the next 10 years for all these. I mean, I witnessed the repair work they did, it was substandard. Myself, I watched them, I warned them not to dig where they dug and they ripped the pipe right out of the ground. And slapped it back together, I mean, it's an incompetent contractor in my eyes.
Well, then we gotta say
We
we
had
got a
we had
competent clerk of the
complaints.
works too, but
Huh?
we hired the best clerk of the works there is, but the clerk of the works can't be at everything at everything.
Oh, you have to assume the contractor.
He did a pretty good job.
Proper
Yeah.
repairs, so.
Yeah. So, all right, so any other discussion on that? Basically, I'm asking you to let me to
Yeah.
reduce their amount.
Staying as-
Yeah.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
No,
okay.
no one, I didn't have anybody on a motion on
Who wants the motion is
Move. Second, whatever,
pick whoever you want.
yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next one is to authorize another change order. This is from the same contract. This was from the materials that was not used from the original specs. So we're reducing the original spec. If I can just bear me, when they did the first project down here to the firehouse, they bid on that project right there. So we got some extra money. You want to give us a quick bid and we'll add it to that project. And they bid like $1.2 million. We said, too expensive, no way. So then we went out to bid a year and a half later, and 2 years later, they bid just $788,000.
Same. people.
Same, the same people, the same job. So they went from 1.2 to 788,000. If they bid that the first time, we probably would have gone with it, but they didn't do it. So then what happened was,
I don't know which one that's from.
out of 788,000, we had so much material. And because of our clerk of the works and writing down the material used, there was $38,778 of material that was not used. And so we get a change order to we deduct that from that project. So we're deducting that from the final.
Move.
Okay, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Did we get a Second on that?
Yeah, because all three of you did it.
There's gonna be some screaming on that.
Tell me that-
There's gonna be,
You know about that.
oh, they do?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They must have walked off with it. Unless I'm hearing.
Yeah, because they actually signed off on it, because Meds Arbo actually had to do a change order
Oh, okay.
and notified them. Yeah.
That's a good catch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then the next resolution is the authorization to pay them the final payment, which is everything deducted out, which is 52,308.
That's after every,
Yeah, and we have no legal recourse to hold back on this because we can't hold back money for something that may or
That
may
hasn't
not.
happened yet.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and this will close out the
Do we
project.
anticipate a bill from 7102 Owasco Road?
I already have it.
Is that part of it?
That's the
Yeah.
reduction we,
Yeah, Bob's
resolutions ago.
cost was $1,200, then was $300 for the
Okay,
camp.
so the 2010 includes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
close
okay.
$800 from the contractor.
Thank you,
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, that's correct. Yep. I'm not an attorney, but I can figure that one out. Bill, those in favor, motion,
no motion.
motion to make the final payment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I
Okay,
reluctantly.
yeah, no, we all are. Okay, the next thing is to approve the budget modifications. I think ourselves and everybody
Yeah.
email them. Can I get a motion to accept their?
So move.
Second.
Okay, and then all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I like this 5 cents that we're getting back from your salary.
5 cents.
Yeah, 5 cents.
No tips there.
We-
I didn't, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna cry over the bank. So,
no tips.
next one is audit and payment of claims. Take a
So
motion to
moved.
accept.
So move.
I looked at
Did
it,
you look at him?
Tony, I
Tony?
looked at it, and I looked
I
at
didn't-
it, I didn't see, I didn't, huh?
The 22.4, is that our share in the watershed director's expenses?
Yes,
What's Auburn's share?
200 and something thousand.
Okay. I was just wondering what percentage.
Yeah, if. Liars, well, figures don't lie, but liars figure. And so one of the things that we do is we try to, when we present to the city, we say, hey, look at the Owasco per capita, they're actually paying more than you. So we try to do it, we try to break it down to what the best way it benefits the organization so that they contribute more. So overall, I believe they're about $220,000 they contribute. So. You know, and that was part of the budget process, so we're just actually,
I was just
yeah,
curious.
yep. So, did we get a motion? Do we get a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay, all those in favor of audit and payment of claims?
Aye.
Okay, and then I don't have anything else. Does anybody else have anything else they want to talk before we adjourn?
Did we close the?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
before we did the,
Okay.
other stuff,
Close
yeah.
it and adopt it, yeah.
And we had adopted that thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And the other thing, and the reason why it wasn't the last thing was.
No, that's fine. I just,
I didn't want to,
Yeah.
renumber all these, or I didn't want
Yeah.
Pam to renumber all those things, so,
Well, we just kept changing them and adding them.
yeah.
For 3 days, they go up and down, up and down.
It was been,
motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good. Hasta la vista.
I needed that one, Jeremy.
All right.
Thank you. We got my name on something.
Good voice.